Terry Finley, president of West Point Thoroughbreds. We've got some questions for you.
Me?
25 questions. How about it, Terry? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Erin's going to ask the questions, and we'll let her do this. Go ahead, Erin.
All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where and when were you born?
I was born January 3rd, 1964 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
So you're the youngest of 7 children. Tell us a little bit about that.
Youngest of 7. We grew up in Levittown, Pennsylvania, which is really the first suburbs. All the World War II vets came home and moved out of the cities and moved into towns like Levittown. So I graduated in 1982 from Harry S. Truman High School. Well, my brothers and sisters, I'm the only one that really is involved in the horse racing business. Although 2 or 3 follow the horses, none are active.
Okay. How'd you get involved in the horse racing business?
My father was a school teacher, and I used to go to the races with him. We used to go to Philadelphia Park. At that time, it was Keystone Racetrack, and we could get into the last 2 races without having to pay admission. So you'd wait as soon as they sprang the latch in the 7th race. All the people that were outside, they were allowed in for the 8th and 9th race. So that's what we used to do all the time after school.
So you have a passion for horse racing, but do you know how to ride?
I've ridden. I went to a dude ranch about 3 years ago, the day after we won the Stephen Foster with a flashy bull, and that was the first time I had ridden in about 25 years. So no, I don't really ride, but my daughter's a pretty good rider. Not great, but pretty good.
Okay, that's a lie, but tell us a little bit about your experience at West Point.
Had a great experience. I really liked it. I can honestly say I never thought of leaving at any time during the 4 years. Maybe once or twice, but really in a serious way, I never thought about leaving. And I will tell you, I'm more active than I've ever been up there in the alumni affairs and with the football team and everything. And it just seems like the longer that you're out and the longer the time period that you're away from the academy, the more affiliated and the more affection you have for the whole place. So that's where I'm at now, and I think and really hope I'll be more involved as years go by.
What was your nickname at West Point?
My best friend, his name is Jimmy Diorio. He's a good Catholic, Irish Catholic guy. They used to always call me Finn Dog, so every time I go to an event right now, if they don't call me Terry, they don't call me Finn, they call me Finn Dog.
Okay. How did you meet your wife?
Debbie and I are high school sweethearts, and we met in pottery class in the 10th grade.
Okay. What is your fondest memory of horse racing growing up?
I worked on the racetrack when I was 12 years old, and I worked on a racehorse farm when I was 12, and then when I was 13, 14, 15, I worked on the racetrack, and it was right about the time of Affirmed. So I remember I worked as a groom for Steve DeMauro at Belmont Park, and the very next barn was Affirmed in a Laz Barrera. So I remember seeing him go to the racetrack every day, and I remember him seeing him. I was there. It was the first time I had been to the Kentucky Derby with my father in 1978 when we saw Affirmed beat Alydar in the Kentucky Derby. So that really holds a lot of good memories.
Who was your role model and mentor growing up?
I'm sure I would say it was my father. He was a school teacher. He was a great man. He was very popular with his friends, and he introduced me to the great sport of thoroughbred racing.
So who is your favorite horse of all time and why, non-West Point?
I'd have to say Affirmed. You think back to a kid and you don't have a care in the world, and I saw him every day go to the racetrack, and he had a great mind, and he was really such a great athlete. Affirmed would be the horse that pops into my mind. But I saw a bunch of them, and I see a bunch of them nowadays. The contemporary one would probably be Zenyatta. I still think, and I still get chills when I think about that scene and the way it unfolded after the Breeders' Cup when she came back to the winner's circle.
Okay, what about your favorite West Point horse of all time and why?
That is very tough. Our first stakes winner was a filly by the name of Big City Bound, who we bought in the mid-90s. We loved Seattle Fitz. Flashy Bull was our first Grade 1 winner. So I don't know. I'm not sure it's fair. I don't want to slight any of them, but they're the three that come to mind. I know we had a great day. That day we beat Rags to Riches in the Gazelle with Lear's Princess. Dream Rush was our first Grade 1 winner at Saratoga, so you probably don't want me to go on, but we've had a lot of really nice horses, and you love them all, right? But you love the ones that run a little bit faster, a little bit more.
Understandable. Where is your favorite racetrack and why?
Well, not to slight anybody on the West Coast. I know Jeff Bloom's not going to be too happy with me, but I love Saratoga. Right about this time, we're in the middle of June. I always look forward next month to going to Saratoga, so I'd say Saratoga is my favorite plot.
Do your kids like horses as much as you do?
My daughter loves the business. She's as crazy about it as I am. My son, I think, likes it a little bit more than he did, but I think he's more intrigued with the betting aspect and the pretty girls, especially on the big days.
Where's your favorite place to eat in Saratoga?
I've got two places. The new favorite place is Ciro's, and the old standby, and the place that we go to a lot is, what's that place over by the Saratoga Trotting Track?
Pinnell's.
Pinnell's, that's the other place. Sorry about that, Bruce.
Do you get nervous before races, and for which race have you been the most nervous?
Yes, I get very nervous, and that's really, you get nervous, but it's a fun nervous, if you know what I mean. If anybody owns horses know exactly what that fun nervous is. So I still get nervous, and that's when I don't get nervous and I don't kind of get that fun nervous, and those nerves that act up, I'll get out of the game. So.
Any race in particular that you've been overly nervous?
Not really, not one that I can, you like to win the Grade 1, so, the Grade 1s, when you think about them, that they're going to have an effect on down the line, whether they're colts or fillies. That that's going to be talked about if you're good enough and you're lucky enough to win a Grade 1. So they're the ones that you kind of think more about.
What do you do in your free time?
I like to golf. I've been trying to golf a little bit more. As I've been part of growing the business. I haven't had as much time. I like to golf. I like to read, and I like to work out.
What's your favorite TV show?
I like The Office. I also like to watch C-SPAN. I'm interested in politics a little bit, and I like the way to look at how the government works.
What's your favorite food?
I like veal at a place right outside the stable gate at Aqueduct, Don Pepe's. I like veal Don Pepe.
If you could go on vacation anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I thought about that, and I would say I've always dreamt of going to Alaska on one of those cruises. That's everybody that goes really likes it. So put me down for Alaska for 300.
Okay. Tell us two things that are on your bucket list.
Well, going to Alaska would be one. And two, I would love to go to China. You read about it. It's a lot more prevalent in the news and in the forefront, especially in America, because all the things. So I'll take China and Alaska for 200.
Okay. What book are you reading right now?
I'm reading a good book I just got that our chief operating officer, he just sent me. It's about being a better organized executive. It's called The Organized Executive.
Outside of horse racing, what is your favorite sport?
I like wrestling, but I really like soccer. Over the last couple years, I've gotten really intrigued. Obviously, my son Ryan plays soccer, and I've really grown to love the game.
This is a yes or no question. Do you think we will see another Triple Crown winner?
I think we will, yes.
All right. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Saratoga or Del Mar?
Saratoga.
Dream Rush or Lear's Princess?
Dream Rush.
Better West Point employee, Conji DeVito or Tom Bellhouse?
Debbie Finley.
Is it true that you watch Jersey Shore on MTV?
I love that show.
Who's your favorite character on the show?
Snooki.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.